Hello guys, this is 2025 Basic Education Certificate Examination Business Studies. We looked at commerce in the previous lesson. For this video, we'll be looking at bookkeeping. So as you take your exam, let this help you. Without wasting time, let's go straight to the questions. Question 31. Which of the following is not an attribute of due process? A. Fairness. B. Favoritism. C. Impartiality. D. Openness. E. Truthfulness. The correct answer is B. Favoritism. Question 32. Which of the following items is found on the debit side of a trial balance? A. Capital. B. Creditors. C. Insurance. D. Loan. E. Overdraft. The correct answer is C. Insurance. Question 33. Which of the following is an example of fixed asset? A. Cash at bank. B. Cash at hand. C. Furniture and fittings. D. Prepared expenses. E. Stock of goods. The correct answer is C. Which of the following is an example of fixed assets? Is furniture and fittings. Alright, we are going to do a little calculation. The instruction that will guide us for questions 34 to 36 says, use the following information to answer questions 34 to 36. Cash, 120,000. Debtors, 6,000. Creditors, 2,000. Furniture, 120,000. Land, 600,000. Motor vehicle, 450,000. So question 34 says, the amount of fixed assets is A. 1,500,000. B. 1,470,000. C. 1,370,000. D. 1,270,000. E. 1,170,000. Among the options we have, which is the correct answer? To get this, we need to calculate. Let me solve here 34. The formula for getting the fixed assets is equal to let's say furniture plus land plus motor vehicle, let it be MV. So what is the furniture? 120,000. What is the assets? What is the furniture? The land 600,000. Motor vehicle 450,000. So the fixed assets is just these three values. Now if you add them together, it will give you option E, which is 1,170,000, which is the answer. Question number 35 says, the amount of current liabilities is A. 20,000, B. 10,000, C. 6,000, D. 4,000, E. 2,000. So the amount of current liabilities is only creditors listed. So the current liabilities is the creditors, which is 2,000 here. So the right option is E. 2,000. Question 36 says, the amount of total assets is what? The formula 36 to calculate total asset, TA, total asset, is equal to cash plus debtors plus furniture plus land plus motor vehicle. Okay, so all you need to do, add up this cash here plus debtors plus furniture plus land plus motor vehicle. It is only the creditors you won't add because the creditor is the amount of current liabilities, so you won't add it. Add up others, it will give you the amount of total assets, which will be 1,296,000, which is option C. Question number 37. The heading that makes reference to a particular transaction in cash book is A. Bank, B. Cash, C. Date, D. Discount, E. Folio. The correct answer is option E. Folio. Question 38. Which of the following is a current asset? A. Cash at hand, B. Furniture and fittings, C. Land and building, D. Motor vehicle, E. Plant and machinery. The correct answer is A. Cash at hand is a current asset. Question 39. Which of the following expenditure can be paid by a petty cashier? A. Equipment, B. Furniture, C. Rent, D. Salary, E. Transport. The correct answer is option E. Transport. To answer questions 40 and 41, we need this information. So use the following information to answer questions 40 and 41. Capital 2,000, sales 1,000, purchases 500, stationery 100, rent 100. So before I solve this question, you can get your note and paper and take this information down so that you can understand the calculation I'm about to do. You need this information. Question 40, let me solve it up here. The question says, what is the balance carried forward of the cash book? So the first thing we need to do is to calculate the total inflows. So let's say total inflows. Now total inflows is equal to capital plus sales. What is the capital? In the information given, the capital is 2,000, sales is 1,000. So total inflow will be 3,000 naira. Take note of that. Next, total outflow. Let's look for it. Still solving number 30. I've calculated total inflow. Total outflows. Let's look for it. Total outflows is simply purchases plus stationery plus rent. So purchases is 500, stationaries is 100, and the rent is 100. In total outflow is 700 naira. Now the balance carried forward, BA balance carried forward, is equal to the total inflow, which is 3,000. That's the total amount that came in minus the total amount that went out, 700. The balance carried forward will be 2,300. Take note of this calculation I've done. The correct option is D. Alright, let's go over to question 41. Question 41 says the total amount on the credit side of the cash book is what? Alright, so I'm going to reference the information there. When we talk about credit side simply means expenses. If you go back a bit in that video, you notice that the purchases made is 500 naira. Let's write it down. The stationery is about 100 naira. And the rent is 100 naira. So the total expenses, add them together, it will give you 700 naira, which is option C. Question 42 says, the purpose of preparing trading account is to determine A, closing stock, B, cost of goods sold, C, gross profit, D, net sales, E, opening stock. The correct answer is C, gross profit. Question 43. The following are important of bookkeeping except that it A, aids decision making, B, has possibility of default, C, is used for ascertaining profitability, D, is used for prevention of fraud, E, used for planning purpose. The correct answer is B. Question 44. The book, 43 answer has possibility of default. Okay. Question 44. The book for recording small expenses is A, bookkeeping, B, cash account, C, cash book, D, ledger account, E, petty cash book. The correct answer for question 44 is E, petty cash book. Question 45. In trading, profit and loss account, carriage inward is added to A, closing stock, B, net profit, C, opening stock, D, purchases, E, sales. The correct answer for question 45 is D, purchases. Question 46. A lifestyle where a person lives within his means of income is A, accountability, B, corruption, C, demand and supply, D, modesty, E, scale of preference. The correct answer is D, modesty. Question 47. Which of the following is a luxury item? A, beverage, B, clothing, C, food, D, jewelry, E, toiletry. The correct answer is option D, jewelry. Time for more calculations. Use the following information to answer questions 48 to 50. Opening stock 10,000, closing stock 13,000, purchases 20,000, sales 27,000, salaries 4,000, discount received 1,000. The question says, what is the gross profit of the business? A, 13,000, B, 12,000, C, 10,000, D, 8,000, E, 6,000. First and first, what is the formula for calculating gross profit? Let GP represent gross profit. Gross profit is simply sales S minus cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. So, cost of goods sold, let's calculate it. Cost of goods sold. Now, this is equal to opening stock, let's see, cost of goods sold. To get it, the opening stock is 10,000, right? Then we have, hold on, purchases made is 20,000, add it. In total, we have opening stock and the purchases made will give you 30,000. Okay, so to get the cost of goods sold, we are going to subtract closing stock from this. So the opening stock plus the purchases made, then subtract the closing stock, which is 30,000 from this. If you do 30,000 minus 13,000, the cost of goods sold will give us 17,000. Now keep this aside. Next, let's find the gross profit. Remember, I said gross profit GP is equal to sales. We've gotten the sales, isn't it? We said the sales is Okay, sales minus cost of goods sold. So, what is the sales? The sales is 17,000. No, the sales is 27,000. Is there sales 27,000? So, gross profit is sales, which is 27,000 minus cost of goods sold, which is 17,000. Our answer will be 10,000. The correct answer is C, 10,000. Question 49 says, what is a net profit? Okay, so I'm going to clean this so I can create space for calculating question 29. The instruction says, what is the net profit? Net profit. Now, the net profit, you use this formula, gross profit plus discount received, right? Now, minus expenses. So the net minus expenses, the net profit will be, from the calculation I did, the gross profit is 10,000 naira. The discount received is 1,000 minus expenses, which is 4,000. 10,000 plus 1,000 is 11,000 naira. So minus expenses, which is 4,000. The answer will be what? 7,000. Okay, so the correct option is D. All right, let's move over to question 50. This question says, cost of goods available for sale is what? Okay, this is the final part of the calculation. This will be opening stock plus purchases Now, from question 41, you can go back a bit. In that values given, you notice that the opening stock is 10,000 naira, while the purchases is 20,000 naira. So cost of goods available will be 30,000 naira, which is option C. Question 51. A decision to select one item in preference to others is known as A, choice, B, consumption, C, demand, D, need, E, want. That is choice. You make your choice. Question 52. Money received by an individual from all sources for either consumption or saving is called a budget. B, contributions, C, personal income, D, profit from sales, E, short-term loan. The correct answer is C, that's personal income. Question 53. The feeling of satisfaction a man has with himself is A, choice, B, contentment, C, extravagance, D, modesty, E, prudence. The correct answer for 53 is contentment. Question 54. Spending more money than one can conveniently afford is A, budget, B, choice, C, extravagance, D, modesty, E, prudence. The right answer is extravagance. Question 55. A sum of money given to the petty cashier to cover minor expenses is A, bonus, B, capital, C, dividend, D, float, E, stipend. The answer is D, float. Question 56. Which of the following is found on the credit side of trial balance? A, discount allowed, B, discount received, C, lightning, D, purchases, E, stationary. The right answer is discount received. So, use the following information to answer questions 57 and 58. 57 says, the total amount the cashier has to be reimbursed is what? You just add up bus fare, postage, drop for driver, and bus fare again for July. This to this, that will give you about 5,950, and that is your answer. Question number 58. The total amount given to the petty cashier is what? This is what was given to the petty cashier, 10,000, which is option E. Alright, we're almost done with bookkeeping. Question 59. Question 59. An estimate of income and expenditure during a particular period is A, budget, B, interest, C, loan, D, profit, E, sales. The correct answer is A, budget. Question 60. Which of the following is not a purpose of trial balance? It A, hides the arithmetical accuracy of entries in the ledger. B, is useful for tracing errors. C, provides a comprehensive list of all accounts. D, provides data for the preparation of final account. E, shows the summary of all accounts. The correct answer is A, hides the arithmetical accuracy of entries in the ledger. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of bookkeeping. In our next class, we'll be looking at paper 2 of business studies, and that will take us to office practice. See you in the next class.